What's going on, traders? It's Ricky with TechBot Solutions. Thank you guys again for joining us for another, in a sense, live trading session. We have about 15 minutes before the market opens. It is 3:15 p.m. here in Spain, San Sebastian. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys kind of what I wake up to every morning. Not too sure if you guys get to see it, but hopefully you guys find that to be pretty cool. Thank you guys, all of you guys that are tuning in right now. I really do appreciate it. I'm going to give it a couple of minutes for people to start tuning in. I'm going to be talking about different stocks that I'm going to be watching today. If you guys didn't see yesterday's video, I'm going to start sharing my screen just so you guys can see exactly what it is that I'm talking about. So if you guys didn't see yesterday's video, I uploaded it's how to manage risk when investing in stocks. It talks about a very simple concept. It's not a very long video. It's about 12 minutes. I know you might not have time right now, right before the market opens. I would actually encourage you guys, for all those new traders, to watch this video before the market opens, just because it goes through the whole thought process on explaining on how to calculate risk, what can and how to make sense of the trade, kind of to build that confidence. So I hope you guys enjoy. I'm gonna see what you guys are saying. Morning, Sutman. So good morning, Day. Good morning, Brian. Good morning, Alex. Good morning, Lucas. Good morning, you. Morning, Ricky. Good morning, Brian. Good morning, Braden. So good morning to all of you guys. Thank you guys again for tuning in. I'm going to be talking about just different stocks that I'm going to be watching, and then I'm going to go in about maybe like 3 minutes, guys. Go ahead and start suggesting stocks, and then I'll start analyzing them for you during pre-market hours. But the one that I was watching, the one that I missed out on yesterday, if you guys saw the live video, we caught MBRX from lows of $1.10, ended up hitting highs of 130. So the potential for profit there was, more than 14% plus. It was a little bit over 18% from top to bottom, and it did that right before the market opened as well. So they had, a lot of potential. Right now during the market open, it's been doing a very good job holding above $1. So new support is $1, new resistance is 110. So it gives you this margin of profit of exactly 10 cents from top to bottom, and it makes it very simple. How do you calculate or manage your risk? Well, we have buyers here at 103. We have sellers here at 105. So there's going to be a slight resistance here at this 105, as you would expect. But realistically, once the market opens, the volume should increase, hopefully, and that's what it's all about. I usually give it a couple minutes, not to hope for the best, but to actually see how the volume ends up playing out with the first 1 or 2 1-minute candlesticks, and then with that, I can get a better understanding on, if it has the volume that I believe that can push it through 110. And in doing that, I just want to make sure that once the market opens, if it has a pullback, that it holds above $1 and that $1 support is still valid during the market open. So I'd rather catch it at the bounce when it's going up at like 102 instead of $1 to stop loss out. And if I can catch it at 102, then I can write it up to see upward momentum. And if I lock in profits at 105, so be it. But then I think it does have potential to hit 110 with the right volume. So this is MBRX. And then, of course, I would stop loss out if it goes below $1. Let me talk about FTR. FTR looks like it's been bouncing from this $1.10 support. Yesterday, I tried to trade this one instead of MBRX. Didn't play out very well. I ended up getting filled during the market open or during my live video at 122 with about 1,000 shares and then another 1,000 shares at 120. So I averaged out to 121 and then I stop lost that at 119. Lost about $40, not huge. Calculated my risk. I thought my potential for profit was greater than my potential for loss. So then that's why I made the decision to invest in it. And it all comes down to how you make sense of a stock. You never trade based on anyone else's opinion, and you only trade on what you see value. And that's always something that we encourage, right? So we now know that there's a support, or I know now there's a support at $1.10, meaning that it bounced. And if you guys can see this EMA line, it shows signs of upward momentum. Hit a slight resistance at around like 115, hit highs of 116. So buyers here at 113, 112, 110, sellers at 114, 115, and then 122. So it is showing good signs of upward momentum. I'd like to stay over 115, and if it starts to show solid signs of upward momentum and it stays above 115, then I can make the decision to jump on in. But right now at 113, 112, it's too low of a price, too close to the support. So I'd much rather write it from 115 to 120, which is nearly 5%, or from 120 to 125 to 130, as that was its old support. So if we go a little bit further back, it was holding very well above 120 for the past couple of days, but just had a pretty solid drop. And as you guys can see, we don't want to buy when there's a downward trend. We want to buy when it starts to rise, and it has highs of 140 within the past, simply 5 days. So I want to hear what you guys have to say. HK, let's see, I'll do that for you, bud. Okay, so again, we don't invest just because there's a 52-week low. That's definitely it's a good sign that you can get in at the lowest price. But if you also look at, this is what I like to look at. And again, invest in whatever it is that you see value in. And if this stock makes sense to you, then it's up to you, right? But I only invest in things that start to show signs of upward momentum. This thing has had little falls, rises, but they're very scattered out. So it has this potential of about 10%. And then another potential of about 8%. And then right now it's gapping up and it has potential of about 4 to 5%, but it's already done that. It's been consistently showing signs of upward momentum. So I wouldn't necessarily invest in HK. I'm going to add this one to my watch list because I think it does have gap potential, meaning area to make up. So it can create this kind of view. But it definitely isn't showing that sign yet. Yes, it has gapped up a little bit, but it has done that in the past. So I'd much rather this break above, this 450 resistance, and that clearly shows to me that it's bouncing back up and most likely going to try to come back up to the $6 resistance, which was an old support, and that would be a better indication for me. So how I'm going to add this to my watch list is I go here, I go to, and then go to default, and then that is it. So thank you again. Let's see if I can thank you properly. Thank you, Franz Mendoza. Oh, I've spoken to you before. Oh, so I think you did a good job that it's gapping up, but I think you have to take into consideration these gaps that it's had before, but then continues to just see a downward trend. So if you can ride it up, I'd say you would have a little bit more of a small squeeze. But again, this stock doesn't see huge volume, and it doesn't move around. And if it does move around, it sees more red candlesticks than green candlesticks. So I'm just not completely comfortable with HK. But it's up to you and whatever it is that you see valued. If you can set up a plan for success and you can calculate and manage the risk and it makes sense to you, then go for it. But if not, then yeah, that's really just it. So let me know what you think about that, friends. Not too sure if you guys saw the news on JNUG or the movement that it had. It broke above $18. So that's really good news. This is all during aftermarket and pre-market hours. Had a resistance yesterday. It did break above 18, but didn't hold above 18 very well. So now during aftermarket hours and pre-market hours, it has a new resistance at $18.60. RSI is indicating that it's more on the overbought side. So I would, in a sense, wait for a pullback. But this is good. This is good because it's been showing consistent signs of upward momentum, which is something that we want to see. It's something very unexpected, especially for these gold-based ETFs that are supposedly supposed to be, going down instead of up. But again, it's gold. It fluctuates very often. It depends on the trend wanting to jump in. JDST is the inverse ETF, so I guess that one is pretty down right before the market open. So yeah, it looks like it has a support now at 65. Might have potential to gap back up to this 67 support that it previously had, as now it's going to become a new resistance. So that's about 3 to 4% profit margin. And then this thing has a resistance. Let's see how long ago it's had that resistance. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, it's had that resistance before, as you guys could see within this area right here. It previously had a support here at about, what is this? More at the $19 mark, but it now has a new resistance there. This had previous resistance here, but not as high as that. Yeah, but me personally, I think right when the market opens, since a bunch of people probably held these gold-based ETFs overnight, you're going to see somewhat of a little pullback, and then maybe catching at the balance at about maybe 18 or 18.20, as that was the old support during pre-market hours. That could be a good buy, and then ride it up to wherever it is it ends up going to. But again, make sure you have a plan every time you go before trading, and that's all we can really encourage. What up, CP? Thank you for joining us today. Oh man, you guys went crazy with the suggestions. Insane you do this every day, man. Thank you. Of course, man. It's all because of you guys. I really do appreciate it. Matt, new to this chat. What's up, y'all? What's up, Matt? JNUG already did that. DCTH. Guys, I really don't like talking about DCTH just because it's really overhyped. I'll go over it very quickly. I heard that it took a pretty big dip, but it did that right before the market closed. It looks like that support is right along the lines of where it previously dipped at during right before market close, ended up spiking back up. There's most likely going to be a resistance at where it previously had a resistance during pre-market hours. So resistance at 30, support at about 25, or what is this, 22, 23. Again, I don't like this stock specifically because it's a low cap stock that I think it has a lot to do with hype. A lot of people have been able to do well with it, but realistically, I think it's been played out for the past week that it's really just now. I don't want to say too much about it. I don't know anything about DCTH. I don't know why it's been overhyped or why this one specifically has been doing so well. But I just know a lot of it has to do with just these huge volume spikes to show like signs of manipulation, and that's not necessarily, and these sell-offs aren't necessarily something that you want to see. It does have technical bounces as it used to, and maybe you guys can catch it on the rise. But realistically, it's just not something I'm comfortable with. It's too small of a stock for me to calculate and manage my risk, and it's not something that I would personally invest in. So that's all I have to say about that. I saw some of you guys were recommending AMD. And AMD's just been killing it. Yesterday and the past couple of days, straight bounce from $12 all the way up to nearly $15. And these are new highs. I actually thought it was going to see a pullback, and actually did during market open to lows of $13, which is something that we talked about before because of the old resistance at $13 becomes a new support. So it held very well above 13. But now there's a resistance at about 1440. Will it continue this upward trend? Well, it all comes down to managing your risk. Has it done that before? Let's see. It's pretty high. I mean, it has done that before, highs of 1560. So let's say it makes the same new highs. It's about 10% potential from top to bottom if you play it out perfectly. But your potential for loss, I think, is a little bit, I mean, it's been having these solid spikes, right? And the only thing you would expect if it's made new highs and comes back down, made new highs, comes back down, made new highs, and comes back down, you would only expect it to come back down. So maybe this time it'll bounce around $12.45 or $13. But again, I personally would only buy at the bounce. But it's definitely, like we showed last time, showing good signs of upward momentum. If you guys could see this trend line that I drew. I actually drew this trend line before this one happened. So it's crazy that it bounced almost exactly where I drew this trend line. If you guys could see that, the resistance is already a little bit higher, but it has been higher before, and it is making new highs. So that's definitely a good sign. How do you delete drawings? You can simply right click, and then you can click remove all drawings and stuff like that. So that is for Andrew. I think it's time to more about the market. Awesome work. What is it? Brenda Medina. Dina, thank you. I really do appreciate the support. This is the one that, where was it? Man, I'm gonna check the TechBot Solutions group chats. There's one suggestion that this is the pre-market movers group chat. This is swing trading, the general group chat. Let me see. People are saying Kyle has been one that does very well with picking out stocks. SCS, but just because he's good at picking out stocks, I'm personally just saying, wow. Doesn't mean that you should always just trade based on anyone else's opinion. But Kyle, dude, you're a beast. Look at this huge drop to the old support that it previously had here at $13. This is not a penny stock; it's a steel casing company. As you guys can tell, I mean, it trades well above that $15 cap, and its old support that it broke, that probably caused this huge drop, is about $16. So like we know, old supports become new resistance levels. So now it's already trending back up. And it bounced at an old support, so that makes sense on why it bounced there. Now it's trending up, and it's at 14, so great call, 1380, 1390. I'm going to get a little bit closer. This actually might be a good one to trade today. So it looks like it has a slight resistance at $14, so maybe if we can break above 14, we can gap back up from 14. That's 13% potential. So 13% potential. It has a strong support at 13. So what I can do is I can either wait for a pullback and try to buy closer to the support that it had during market pre-market hours, or just try to ride it up with more of a momentum stock instead of a technical trade. So great call, Kyle. I want to give a shout out to him. He's been doing very well. $13.90, $13.14, broke 14. Can we break above? $13.95. Yeah, JNEX's been killing it. It's had a resistance here, so let's see if we can break above. Set my limit. Pullback. I mean, no offense to those that are already in, but I kind of want to see a pullback closer to the 13, just so I can make the decision to jump in and for my risks to be a little bit less. It also has had a previous like bounce here at 1380, so that might be a good position to jump on in. But I don't know much about this stock, so I'm definitely going to add this one to my. Oh my goodness. Oh, below. I guess I set the wrong alert. So it looks like it's gapped up from the support that I had at 13. What is that, 39, all the way up to this $14. Are we going to see a pullback? I don't know. Let's see. I'm going to open up a second screen here. $14. Okay. 14.05 broke resistance. Alrighty, bud. That's funny. And definitely, I mean, if you guys don't see value in trading penny stocks, then you shouldn't be investing, right? Shouldn't invest in anything you don't see value in. But if you see that it's something that's working out for you, as it's been working out for a lot of our members, I mean, let me see if I can just simply scroll down the list. Talking about profit. Let's see if we can find anything. Made 84%, or oh, okay, so made 36%. But yeah, it really comes down to like whatever it is that you see value in, and if you think you can make sense of your trades. Ooh, seeing a pullback, support at 112. SES seeing somewhat of a pullback. I actually think this thing has more potential to just continue dropping. JNEG continues to just skyrocket. It's at 1865, so did not see a pullback, just continued to rise. So that's good for that. 1390, NVAX, PBR. Snapchat saw a pullback. Let's see, where's AMD? For all those that are looking at DRYS, the reason that it has such an increase, if you simply click on use, it tells you, DRYS went through a reverse stock split, which caused this huge increase in price. In no way does that mean that that's good. It's actually losing a bunch of value, and you're probably losing money if you're in DRYS at the moment, just because it's most likely going to tank more, and that's only going to be worse for you. So when a company does reverse stock splits, especially like 4 in the past, 4 months, then that's definitely not a good sign for a company. It's most likely on track to get delisted. And the reason it does these reverse stock splits are to meet probably NASDAQ requirements. So definitely not a good sign. But FTR looks like it's finally bouncing now. Buyers 113, 114. I want to get it later when it goes above 115. I'll do 116. And this was SES 1390. Earnings call? Earnings conference call? Oh, that's what probably caused this huge drop. It's already had a drop. Ooh, 1370. This is the pullback that we're expecting. All right, so this is where it's all going to happen. Let's see. Where's it bouncing? Sorry, FTR. I'm going to have to focus on this one. Oh, bless me. See, green candlestick bounced at 155. Kind of expected that just because of the old support that it had here around, or it messed around here around like 1350 to 1370. So bounced out right at 1354, 1355. Get an alert for MBRX. MBRX is trending up. Hit a resistance at 120. Right now, currently at 119. Previous support at 115. Let's see if it continues right. Rising up. So yes. Again, I don't want to like overcomplicate stuff. Yesterday, I made the mistake for MBRX that I didn't jump in. So this one saw a pullback. I'm really waiting for a solid bounce and for it to indicate more sign of upward momentum. But I definitely think this thing has potential for profit. But I'd like to get closer a little bit to that $13 mark. So maybe simply just by setting my support. This was an old support. As you guys can see, it bounced up here. So maybe when it goes below 1350. Again, you don't want to be averaging down on a stock that's seeing downward momentum. You want to make sure that you're buying as it's increasing in value, something like this, right, rather than something like this. But it's not really playing out. Let me see what you guys have to say. Any suggestions? Appreciate it, guys. Okay, so IRIDM10 is asking me to explain that what old supports become new resistance levels. So SES is trending back up, so it already gapped up. All right, whatever. I'll just be a little bit more patient and wait for more of a pullback. But what I mean by old supports become new resistance levels, I think this one's all over the place just because it's a gapper, so it might be a little bit harder to identify. But I think FTR is pretty easy to explain on that specific topic. Or MBRX, let's go back to that one. Held above 103, so that's good. Did end up peaking out at 110 right as the market opened, so that's good. Now seeing a downward trend. So pretty much all I really look at is yesterday, if you guys saw MBRX, it had an old support at $1.10. So it held pretty well above $1.10. It was bouncing and held above it, right? So that was an old support, right? Old support and then resistance at 120. Now it broke below 110. So what does that mean? Well, the old support now becomes a new resistance. So as it breaks below, as it did right here, broke below 110, and it started bouncing here at 105, broke below 105, and then started bouncing at $1. As it was coming back up, again, 110 was an old support, so it used to bounce at 110, and now it struggles to go above 110, meaning that because it was an old support, and now becomes a new resistance. And it's just more of a technical term. It just means like kind of where it used to bounce at is now a place that it struggles to go above. That's as simple as that. Again, it's more of a technical way of figuring out like where's a good place to sell. So because I knew that 110 was a good support, I didn't need for this to play out the way it did. During my pre-market or live analysis, I knew that right away that this was going to be a part that it would struggle to go above because it was an old support, and it's just previous trends. That happens very often. So you identify the support and the resistance that it had before, and then if it breaks that support, you wait for the bounce, and then know that it's most likely going to hit a resistance most of the time, not always 100%, at the old support, which is a new resistance, which is at 110 point. So if you can see it bounce here at $1 and then hit a resistance at 110, and then came back here to like 101, and then hit highs of 110, and then again came back down here, and it's at 101. So what do you expect? For it to most likely bounce. So this is all about like risk management. Well, if I get in right here at 101 and then plan to sell at 110, that potential for profit is about 8%. But then if it goes below $1, I'm going to cut my losses, and that potential for loss is about 1%. So if that risk is worth it for you, that when their potential for profit is 8% and your potential for loss is about 1%, is that worth it for you? For a lot of people, yes. For a lot of people, no. It comes down to whatever it is that you can make sense of. But again, it's good to know previous trends. It's good to know different indicators to identify, a good buy and a good sell. So RSI indicators are good at that as well. So if you guys can see, Right here, looks like every time it hits about 60 RSI, it ends up coming back down. So maybe next time it hits 60 RSI, that'd be a good sign that maybe you should sell. Oh my goodness, ended up trending up to 1440, and that was from the bounce of 1360. So huge 5%, and it's now trending back up. So great for those that were able to jump in. Appreciate it. Thank you. I'm glad that cleared it up. All right, guys, well, I have not entered any positions right now, and FTR is back at 111, so it's not showing. Again, it's coming back down to more of the support, and this is not an area that I'm too comfortable with. Yes, I can try to get in at like 110 and try to stop loss if it goes below 110, and then try to sell at 115, so that would give me about like 5% potential for profit, a little bit over 5%. So that might be something that I do, but again, the volume is just very low, and it's just been consistent in a downward trend, so that might not be the best decision, especially since I stop lossed down on FTR yesterday. MBRX might be one that I choose to go in. I just needed to show more signs of upward momentum, and that's really just it. I'm going to be most likely watching MBRX. SES I'm not too familiar with, and it does have, I think the potential to get back up, but this earning call is a good reason why it probably dropped. So I don't know if it'll actually make its way back up, and if it does, it's going to be more due to overhype. So that's not necessarily something I want to watch, especially because I'm going to be here in I'm here in Spain. So like I showed you guys, I'm literally outside the balcony of where I'm staying at of my Airbnb. I came back just so I can film this video for you guys, and then I'm back to just spending time with my girlfriend, and we're going to go on a hike today. So I hope you guys understand. I'm probably not going to day trade, and if I day trade, I'm probably just going to like set my limit order to buy like FTR and then my stop loss right away. But I haven't been doing very well with that. So I hope you guys understand and why I'm probably not going to day trade today. But other than that, I want to thank you guys all for joining us. I mean, you guys are doing an amazing job networking with one another. So I'm really glad that you guys joined me in my live stream today. But understand that there's thousands of you that are in TechBud Solutions. So feel free to continue asking them questions and then sharing your best practices. That's one of the most important things. And I understand that your time is extremely valuable, and that's why I always thank you guys so much. But what I want to ask you guys is, if you guys can once a day, you guys don't have to like my videos, none of that stuff. I mean, that'd be nice, but you guys definitely don't have to. What I would like you guys to do, if you guys are a part of TechBud Solutions, simply write, like in one sentence, a thing that you did good when trading today, and the thing that, your area of improvement, what you could have done better. I think as simple as that. Not only will that help out other people by learning from your best practices and learning from your mistakes, but I think in doing that also, psychologically, because you write it down and you share it, it makes more sense to you. And next time that you're in that same position, you probably won't repeat it. So yes, it's going to help out everyone within the group, but it'll also help yourself out. If you guys see value in that, I would highly encourage you guys to post at least once a day within the TechBud Solutions platform, and I'll be sure to get me and the moderators within TechBud Solutions to approve that post. Again, the link is in the description. If you guys are not a part of TechBud Solutions already, I'm pretty sure we just broke 25,000 members with all the different platforms we have available, and we just broke 24,000 subscribers within our YouTube channel. Guys, it's an amazing experience, and I'm so blessed to be able to share with each and every one of you guys. If there's anything else that I can do for you guys, please feel free to let me know. I do have a scheduled upload that I usually do. It's going to be uploaded hopefully 5:30 Mountain Standard Time for you guys, or maybe I'll just upload it in about like 2 hours. I'm not too sure what it is exactly that I want to do, but it's going to be talking about for the young individuals that have simply $1,000 that aren't seeing much of a return within penny stocks. Guys, I do a bunch of other things on the side, so penny stocks is not the only thing that I do. I do it, and I do it pretty well, and I know not everyone has that success. So I'm going to be talking about the other things that I do and how I started with, how you can start simply with $1,000, and hope that that can, in a sense, give you some insight on how you can, start your like side business or something while doing whatever it is that you guys are doing already. And maybe if you guys are doing penny stocks already, have your normal job or going to school and want to do an extra thing on the side, then you guys are amazing. I'm just going to share it with you guys and hope you guys see value in that. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. If you guys like this video, we do appreciate the thumbs up. But if not, then we totally understand. Let's see what you guys have to say. You're amazing, peace. All right, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys out. Thank you. As it Froyo. Free Yogurt. I think that's your name. Caesar, appreciate it, man. Richard says, I can't type. I haven't even started investing. Well, we do have a lot of videos that I think can answer your questions if you haven't watched those already. And we have an amazing community of people that I think can actually answer a lot of your questions and can guide you in the right direction. Again, one of the things that we do best within Techwood Solutions is we provide a supportive community for new and experienced traders, and we never tell you what to trade, and we never try to influence or try to make a profit off of your loss. That's one of the biggest things that we try to filter within Techwood Solutions, and making sure that we provide a supportive community, because I know for a lot of new traders it can be very manipulative, and that's definitely something that we're covering. So I hope you guys understand, and it's I think, and hopefully all these people in the live stream and hopefully all the people in the comments can tell you guys how amazing our group is and how amazing what the amazing experience has been, especially for just new and experienced traders. So. All right, you guys are telling me to leave already because, okay. You guys are telling me to go have fun. So thank you guys. I really do appreciate each and every one of you guys. I hope you guys have an amazing day. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Do I speak Spanish? Sí, hablo español. Take care, guys. Bye.